some of which are private companies and some of which are listed companies. The current company of which I'm CEO is a listed company called E&M Holdings, which, as Cecilia said, is owned as to 44% by the ChinaChem Group, which is a very large property developer and property investor in Hong Kong, also operates hotels and many other types of businesses. So my company has 3 different businesses. We run a private members club sitting on a large tract of land, which we're in the process of seeking to have rezoned for residential development. We have a range of shops which are in the high fashion luxury business throughout Hong Kong. And we have an investment portfolio which I manage, which provides us with return while we're waiting for the rezoning of our land. Luckily, after a lot of effort and work, we succeeded to get the preliminary support from the government for the rezoning of our land. And what we are doing now is going through the processing of getting that made concrete and made final. But that's a process, not a problem. So as Cecilia said in her introduction, there are so many different leadership styles, and no individual style is correct. Each person has different styles and different people respond in different ways. My own philosophy is that I try to avoid being someone who stands apart from the staff and from the people with whom I'm working, because it seems to me that it's important to listen to people and it's important to be seen to be reasonably accessible. I try very hard to find consensus if it's possible, but there are times where you can't find consensus, and there are times where either because you know a decision is right, you've listened and you've thought about it, and then you decide that it's right. So then, of course, as the leader, you have to go ahead with it. The second situation is sometimes, and this would apply to a lot of people in the HR industry as well, where you have to make very tough decisions, especially personnel related tough decisions, which are hard and tough, and people really aren't very happy about them. And at the end of the day, even if you have an HR department to work with and who can implement some of the decisions, you're the person who's ultimately responsible. And I've always made myself available to talk to any affected people, so that it's me they talk to, not just think that they can only talk to the HR professionals. The other issue is that I think from time to time it's important consultation is important, listening is important, but decision making is also important. And remembering that most people in senior management roles, myself included, have somebody that we report to. I have a board of directors, for example. I'm a member of that board of directors, but there are 6 other members of the board of directors, some of which represent our shareholder, which is the ChinaChem Group, and some of which are independent directors that have been appointed by shareholders in the general meeting. So those people all take a very vigorous role. Our board meets on average 5 or 6 times a year. And in the meantime, there are several board committees. So we have an investment committee, we have a committee relating to various different aspects of the company, the finance, the audit committee, and so on. So I report to all of those, and I need to be sure that what I'm doing and what I'm saying is in accordance with company policy. By and large, the members of the board will leave it to me to make all of the management decisions. But of course, we have policies, we have internal controls, we have an audit committee, and we have an internal audit. So I can't just do things whimsically. I have to make my decisions based on that framework which exists. So that's essentially the way I approach things. As I said, quite often, for example, when I first joined ChinaChem Group 12 years ago as the Chief Operating Officer, we had to set up a whole range of systems in that company because none had existed before. ChinaChem Group, those of you who live in Hong Kong would know, was run very much by a single woman who owned it at the time. She died. And when the new management took over, we found basically no systems, no organization charts, no HR department. Payroll was run by the finance department. no corporate secretarial department, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so we had to basically recreate everything for ChinaChem by the time we started. That, of course, was a huge job, which took some years, but finally successful. And now in its current format, ChinaChem is operating extremely successfully. I was asked then to become the CEO of this company, which I've now been for 4 years. And part of that was to rationalize the shops, rationalize to try and make the overhead costs less. That includes rent, it includes the number of shops, it also includes people, unfortunately. But by and large, we've been able to preserve the DNA of the company and the DNA of the brand, which is a very well-known brand in Hong Kong. So again, each time one makes a decision or thinks of a decision, you have to do it in the context of the background. There's no point in me making a decision about luxury fashion, for example, which is not in accordance with the general trend, the general DNA of our brand, because our customers will very quickly move away from us. And again, quite often we're not only talking about our staff and our employees and our colleagues, we're also talking about people we work with, customers, counterparties, banks, regulators, all sorts of different people with whom we have to deal. So, and in fact, I would say that quite a high proportion of my time is spent in dealing with people outside the company, whether they're the shareholder, whether they're regulators, whether they're bankers, whether they're counterparties of one sort or another. So that often involves other decisions. And of course, in making those decisions, I need to be informed. And to get informed, I need to have my staff working with me and providing me with background information and bases upon which I can formulate my view. I have in the company, there's a CFO who works very closely with me. There's the head of the Swank operations, that's the shopping operations. And then someone who's the head of the investment department. All of those people report to me. In this company, the HR head also reports to me directly. When I was CEO of ChinaChem, some of the time that was the case, and some of the time it reported to the CEO of ChinaChem. I was previously at a company called Sun Hung Kai & Co., which is a listed financial services company. I was COO there, and again, the HR department reported to me during that time. So those are the basic points that I was planning to make. I think probably the best thing to do is to, Cecilia, is to open it up for questions.
Thank you a lot to Mr. David Parker, and thanks for your sharing. I'm sure we have got something from it. And anyone have the question regarding his sharing, and you can raise your hand and you can ask him. Okay, back to the rundown tonight. First of all, I will bring survey report related to leadership. Now I will sharing our PowerPoint. Just a moment, I share. Here we go. Now you're at our PowerPoint. Leadership. Tonight the topic is leadership, and actually I dropped something I think is very, very significant. If your action inspired others to dream more and learn more and do more and become more, you are a leader. Are you agree or not? Okay, here is our tonight the rundown. Divided the 4 parts, and I will share you guys about the survey report related to leadership. Then small group will be formed and for discussion, and a summary of the team's discussion. Then we will wrap up. Just a moment. There are lots of the qualities a leader should possess from the internet. I find a lot of information. In the public estimation, some traits are clearly more important than others. For example, here I found the 10 qualities, and they say they're very important for the leader should possess. Among those qualities. Here is a 5 or 6 is top is the important qualities the leader should possess. First is honest, intelligent, decisive, are considered absolutely essential leadership qualities. And then followed by being organized and compassionate. This is from the internet, from the worldwide. And let's come back to the Hong Kong survey. In Hong Kong, and we also did a survey related to the leadership. And this survey will consist of 3 questions. First, we were talking about the qualities that a leader should possess to overcome business challenges. So as you know, there are lots of the qualities the leader should possess. However, when we're talking about the business and the challenge, the topest, almost 1/5 vote, inspiring others, is the most essential quality that leaders should possess. It's recorded 19% that voted. Of course, being able to convince the people through logical, emotional, and cooperation appears is component, is very, very important component of an effective leader. But of course, is quite different from the manipulation, right? And the second is the decision making. Around 60% voted. And then is delegation, then is commitment and passion. Honesty and integrity. The importance of the honesty and the integrity should be the obviously, especially for the top level executive, because they have to make the countless significant decision and which will design the company, the direction. And this is the top 5 essential qualities the leader should possess. Apart from the top 5, and we still have the other 4 leadership qualities, including good communicator, efficiency, and accountability, and confidence. After we have the insight on the qualities, how about the skills or behaviors the leader should have? What are the skills the leader should need? What are the most important behavior you think the leader should adapt or must use? This is the report. This is a survey from the very famous international company. Over the past decades, this is a company has collected over around 8,000 responses from the 360-degree leadership assessment. This response came from the executive, managers, employee from the Fortune 500, mid-sized startup or government organization across the multiple industries. From a list of the 78 leadership behavior, each participant will ask the ranking the top behaviors of the ideal leader. So after they collect all the answers and analyzed and ranked the response to the identified top 10 most desired leadership behavior, like says a clear strategic direction, knows when to stop, analyze and make decision, follows through the action, promise, and assignments, has the necessary skills and the knowledge to effectively perform the job duties, demonstrate high ethical standards, leads managers and work with integrity, accepts the responsibility for own actions, leverage the strengths of each team members, treat others with dignity. I think the last way is very important to me. This is the top 10 most designed leadership behavior. Okay, back to the Hong Kong. Let's see what happened in Hong Kong. Here, we also list the top 5, the behaviors of the leader should have to lead the organization overcome the business challenges. The top 1 is be proactive. 24% company or people voted followed by look for opportunities is 24 people voted. Then it's be resonated is 16 people voted, followed by face conflict squarely 12 people voted. Then be creative 12 people voted. This is the top 5. Out of the top 5, we also have other leadership behavior is very important, like maintain objectivity and reach out for help. As you know, things have the two sides, the positive side and the negative side. For the positive side, if the good behavior of the leadership and the leader will lead the company to the good side. However, some features the leadership possess will hamper the business growth. For example, unethical, 36 people voted, so it's the top 1, and followed by the abrasive language, 20 people voted. Then aggressive attitude and the dishonesty, this is the top 4. And the top 5 is timid. And out of the top 5, there are others like the harassment and other and reason. So where you agree or not agree or disagree, what we have there talking about the leadership or characters. Now we go for the next part, the small group discussion. Let's see what question we have. It's very interesting questions. So now we have the total 10 participants, and we will form maybe 3 groups, and each group will have 2. Each group will have 3. We will form the 3 groups. Just give me the 1 minute, and we will form the 3 groups.
Celia, it would be better to break out room between 2 groups, making it like 5 and 6.
Okay, no problem. So we will have the 25 minutes and to discuss, and we will form the 2 groups. And let's go for some of the questions first. And I think today the topic is leadership. And I have to, talk about the leader like the Obama or Trump. So was the Obama is a better leader than Trump? And how to manage a leader of the Trump's type? And I think that everyone have the company or have the subordinate or have the someone a Trump under the Trump type. And the second question, some were born to leader or learn to leader. Which one do you believe will be more successful? And the third question, difference between being a leader or being a manager. And the fourth question, I think is more favorite in the Hong Kong people. It's a question related to Carrie Lam, the chief executive of the Hong Kong, how to be a good leader and to lead Hong Kong. I think we have the two questions, and which one will we choose? Hello, can you tell me? And we have the 2 facilitators. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, which question you will choose? And we have the 5 questions.
If we have to break out rooms between 2 groups, then I'll go for question 1 and 2. Probably.
2, right?
Marie?
Okay, 1 or 2, no problem. So,
yes.
Jeva, you will choose 1 or 2.
Yeah, Celia, Jakir here. I'm going to choose for the question 1 and 2.
1, right? You will choose 1.
1 and 2, actually. 1 and 2.
1 and 2, okay. How about Marie? Which one you will choose? The question.
1 and 2. Exactly. So that would lead to 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, 3, maybe the 3 or 5. Which one you choose? The 5 is related to the female leader.
Because honestly, I don't know much about Carry.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. So no need to choose this one. Maybe the 5, right? Okay, you will choose the 5.
I'll choose.
So you know the question. Okay, everyone know the question. Now we will form the 2 groups. Okay. So now it's 8:30. So 25 minutes we will come back, which means 8:55. Let's form the 2 groups.
Oh, Cecilia.
Yes.
So before we move to the break room discussion, can I or can we ask question to Mr. Parker?
Yeah, for sure.
Because So hi.
Sure. I'm still here. I'm happy to answer.
This is Foster from Hong Kong. Thank you for sharing your role as a Chief Executive Officer in your organization. I heard that you mentioned there are many things to balance, including, and there are obviously conflict to manage for you as a CEO. So can you share with me more about the conflict management principle from your point of view? Because every day I also face with lots of different conflicts, and the conflicts are usually from different parties or different people. They have different ideas, and they also, when I talk about the subordinates, and also sometimes different vendors, they will come to me and then pose a lot of question or even pressure to me to get things done in favorable to their position. So Mr. Barker, I'm so glad that you are here today, and then can you share some light on conflict management, how you handle that?
Okay, thank you, Foster. What I always try to do when I'm faced with a difficult decision is I like to think of first principles. I try to think in relation to the issue concerned or the fact concerned. What is the important? Sorry, someone's coming. What is the most important thing? What is it that it's about? What is the key? What are the key issues? And from my point of view, of course, I have to look after my shareholders. That's my job as the CEO. But at the same time, there's more and more recognition now that there are lots of stakeholders in a company, and the stakeholders include not only the shareholders, but also the employees and other counterparties. So, for example, if you have a lot of debt in the company, you have creditors, then those creditors are also stakeholders. I'm lucky I don't have much debt in my company, but if I've been in companies before where the relationship with creditors was extremely important. Where you're talking about people, as you say, trying to put pressure on you to achieve something which is favorable to them, that's almost a natural part of doing business, that people will try to do that. And especially perhaps here in Asia, and certainly in China and in other countries around Asia where I've worked or had business interests. In this company, in the company I'm running now, we have a very strong system of internal controls. We established very strong internal controls about how, for example, we choose vendors. We're not like the government where we always insist that we go for the lowest price. We look at both price, and we look at quality, and we look at reliability and other issues as well when we're making decisions. Sometimes, of course, we have little choice as to who to use. If we're, for example, buying clothes for our shops, to take that as one example, obviously you have to buy from the particular brand. But on the other hand, if you're using contractors or you're using vendors of various suppliers and so on, the fact that we have internal controls, not only does it help the company in ensuring that its employees are doing the right thing and trying to get the best possible outcome for the company, but it also gives you a basis, an excuse, if you like, to say to someone who's trying to put that pressure on that you just referred to say, look, I'm sorry, Mr. X, or Mrs. X, but I can't do it that way. I'm bound by our company's internal control policy, and I have to do it this way. That's one way of handling it. The other way of handling it is to say that, it's something I have to refer up the chain to somebody else, or I have a colleague also who's involved. It's not my sole decision. In terms of actually making the final decision, when I'm making a decision, I try to look at it again from all points of view. Price, for example, is clearly one very important issue. Within reason, you should try to find as good a price for your company as possible. But quality control, for example, timeliness. When we're looking for contractors to fit out our shops, for example, we're paying very, very heavy rent to landlords to occupy those shops. So we can save some thousands of dollars on the contract price, but if they're 2 weeks late, then we've paid 2 weeks rent where we can't operate the shop. So you've got to take into account all sorts of factors, not just the original price, but obviously the quality, but also the timeliness. If delays are very, very costly, especially in any place where rent or the fixed costs, whether it's rent or permanent labour cost or whatever that you have to bear. So, and in terms of colleagues that are trying to put pressure on you to come to some particular decision, or in some cases it's subordinates, in some cases it's people above you. I've had circumstances, not so much now because I'm the CEO, but in the past, where people have asked me to do things that I simply don't agree with. And what you've got to do then, I think, is let's take it from different points of view. If it's someone above you, then you've got to find a way to say to that person, look, I'm sorry, I understand what you're wanting, but either I don't think it's right, or it's not possible, or there's some other reason. You have to find a way. The idea is to try not to be rude, try not to simply say, no, I won't do that, I don't agree with it. You have to come up with your reasons and the basis of it and say, look, I'd really like to do that. And of course, the other alternative is to say, I know that this is the outcome that you're seeking to achieve. You want the best outcome for the company just as much as I do, but I think we can achieve that outcome by doing it in a different way. The same thing that last point can apply also to colleagues and to subordinates who come up with ideas, and you can say, or come up with things that they want done, or vendors they want to support, or whatever it may be. And you say to them, look, I know that you would like to do that, but we can't do it for these various reasons, but your idea is a good idea. I think you're always trying to give credit to people. You're not trying to embarrass people or to humiliate them. You're trying to recognize that they may have some good ideas or may have some valid reasons for what they're suggesting. So try to identify anything that is valid about what they're suggesting, and then find a way to tell them that maybe that's not the best way to do it, or maybe the outcome isn't even what you want. All of those issues are issues that I think that they all can be in different ways. But I think, again, if you stand on principle, if you think about what are the principles, the first principles, what are you trying to achieve? What is in the best interests of the company? And by the company, I mean the whole of the company, the employees, the shareholders, the colleagues, and so on. Then I think you will find a solution. And then it's just a question of personality, I think, in terms of how you impart that outcome or that suggestion to the various individuals. I hope that helps.
Thank you, David Parker. Any questions? So if no questions, we will form the 2 breakout rooms. Okay. Just a moment.
So, Cecilia?
Yes.
Hello, Cecilia.
Yeah, I'm here. Yes.
So you will find there's a button.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So you can click and then you can join the group.
But Hmm? No, it doesn't.
Hey, sis. I'm still here. I'm still here. Just a moment, JK. Hi, you have joined, and then let me see if okay, Miss Wang also joined.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, after 25 minutes discussion on the leader, so I think you have the discussion summary and you like to share. And so I will return the leader to you and you can share your summary.
Hi, Cecilia.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Agnes has to leave because she has only 1 hour. So she
Okay.
cannot join us now. She left already.
No problem.
So she
Yeah.
said she apologized because for 1 hour.
Okay, sure. So anything you like to share with us regarding the question female leader?
Yes.
Mm.
Share and Mr. David will add on to our discussion. Yes. So for our group, okay, the question is between the difference between a leader and a manager. Okay, so from Cecilia's side, a leader is someone who focus on people, leading people, and a manager is someone who focus on doing the tasks, managing the tasks to be done. But from Mr. David, he has a lot of good ideas between a leader and a manager. He shared with us a lot. So some of it, like a leader you can be an instant leader, like Mark Zuckerberg, he didn't undergo the managerial position, go straight as a leader of Facebook. And then you have Steve Jobs is the same. But there are also people who undergo managerial positions and then become leader. So basically, being a manager, you have to have some leadership skills, and being a leader, you should have also managerial skills. And a lot of informations Mr. David can add into it.
I
Hello,
think
Mr. David.
that Marie has
Hello,
summarized
Mr.
it.
David.
Yes, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I think Marie has summarized it very well. A manager manages people as well as tasks, usually, even if they're only managing themselves, they're still normally coordinating other people. Maybe it's counterparties or whatever. And that's one of the ways in which one gains leadership skills and demonstrates leadership skills to people who are in leadership positions above you. And as Marie said, someone like a Jobs or a Zuckerberg badly need managers under them. And to take the example of Jobs, when he died, the man who was probably one of the best managers in the world, Cook, took over as the leader and was able to demonstrate that he had both leadership and managerial skills. So I don't think you can divide it into very neat boxes. Obviously, people in leadership positions do less day-to-day managing, but people in managerial positions have to also recognize themselves as having leadership requirements.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was disconnected.
I think your signal is not stable, but it's okay. And anything else you like to share with us?
Okay, so with regards to the female leaders on the
Yes.
world today, so actually we discuss about all some of the great female leaders in the world, like the leader in Germany, and then this the first female who stepped on the Supreme Court in the U.S. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So I think she did a lot, and she was very good um on what she does. She bring changes, okay, to America, and she's also considered as one of the greatest women in the world. So I think, and Mr. David agrees that even him, he hired a lot of female managers. So not because he wanted to be surrounded with females, but because he hired them because of their capacity, and then because of their intelligence and how they perform the job. So it's one of worth the money. You know, female employees are worth the money.
Jacker, yeah.
Should I move forward? Move along?
Yes.
Marie?
Yeah, Jacker just say something. Do not forget one famous female leader and the Sheikh Hasina.
Sheikh Hasina.
Yeah, Sheikh Hasina.
One of the
Hi.
powerful, impactful female leader currently in the world. And she's from Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Well, she's certainly done a great job in protecting the Rohingyas who were forced out of Myanmar. She did a fantastic job in that way.
Absolutely, absolutely. And led the country for last 11 years very diligently, because the country wasn't doing very good at the time, but now the mega development projects was being handled by her, and she's heading the country in more developed way. And very soon, the 2025 actually, the country will be promoted to a developing country, Bangladesh. And in 2041, I think 2035, the country will be promoted to developed country, Bangladesh. Okay, yeah, that's about Bangladesh. Shall I move on for our summary?
Yeah, the next, Jacob, please share.
Okay, we had two questions to discuss on. That was the first one was was Obama a better leader than Trump? How to manage a leader or Trump type? And the second one was born to lead or learn to lead. Which one do you believe will be more successful? So we had four participants actually. We had Mr. Foster, Cecilia, Adele, and me actually. So we had very different scenarios, discussions we got. And the point was, I have summarized. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Foster, Cecilia, or Adele. Foster was saying that the value should be upholding, and the principle and value should be upholding, both of them. And the Trump was a bit better in terms of gender equality, marriage, stopping the same-sex marriage, and also stopping the abortion. And on the other hand, Obama, who actually inspired for managing the same-sex marriage. So in terms of that, and also the religious view, I would say, Foster prefers Trump over Obama. In that point of view, Cecilia was saying that Obama was more controlled, but Trump was beyond control. And sometimes Trump, whatever the Trump was trying to do, he didn't even know that what would be the subsequently consequence. So in that matter, so Obama was way more dependable. And also in terms of example, Cecilia was going for giving example, like if Trump was put in the sales department, he was supposed to be more successful than Obama, because Obama could be more successful in executive position like controlling accounts or finance position. So in terms of control, Obama is more controllable, way more than Trump. And Adele was saying, if it is American, then whatever the job Trump had done for America, then Trump should be more preferable to choose as a leader. But being a Chinese, and Obama should be more adorable, because he's so friendly and also very charismatic. Okay, that was the discussion from the question 1. And for the question 2, it was born to lead or learn to lead. Celia was kind of like in between two. It could be both for born to lead and also learn to lead. And Foster also same, both. To become a leader, one person was requiring, one person should have the background of born to lead or learn to lead. So in between. In discussion of me, I went for learn to lead, for having the two different scenarios of generations or time, because that was a time when people born in a kingship families or royal families. So they were by born, they were they were supposed to lead an entire empire with the legacy of their entire family. So at that time, so that was a time when people was born to lead from every royal family. But thing has changed over time to time, and the generations we are in now, where people actually have the experiences, they have started taking the knowledge or taking the experiences from different scenarios, different environments, backgrounds. They take knowledges, the experiences, and that they learn so many things to lead an entire nation or even a business enterprise. So for this generation, for this time, it is more applicable to learn to lead, because there is no more the terms goes for born in a royal family like Prince Harry or Prince William did. So for this generation, it is more applicable for learn to lead. It is my point of view. Yeah, that was the more or less the summary we had. Cecilia, back to you.
Yeah, Faust, anything you need to add or anything? Anything? Okay, so we just finished the discussion, and thank you so much for the discussion. And I learned a lot. I think we all got something from tonight. And with so much discussion over the leadership of the topic, I think employees always expect the leader to establish a clear direction and to support them to focus with the thoughtful and deliberate decisions, to be honest. And to be a subordinate, we all expect the leader to follow through the commitment and do what they say, and not just manipulate or just free themselves and delegate. And I think the misuse of delegation and understand what they are talking about and reward us. That is as the subordinate what we need. And of course, we have to balance the leadership perspective and also the subordinate perspective. That is all we will have to balance in the future. And it is also the big topic for every leaders and business leaders. And thank you very much. Shall we take the picture tonight? And then we're First, do you know how to take the picture? Yeah.
Yeah, let me do it. So everybody, if you can, please turn on your video for a moment. So I will count 1, 2, 3, and then we will have a nice smile on our face. Just a moment. One, two, three. One more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Hey, where is the adult? Probably, okay.
Hi.
And
I'm here. Hi.
the picture without you. And it doesn't matter. So next time I will be our learning and development section. Let's show you something here. Next section is learning and development, and next time I invite a very also the senior position from the New World Development Company Limited. The name is Teddy New, and he's his previous position is a general manager of the service, and now he's promoted to the head of the group audit and the management service. And so we're looking for next time the section is on the dates. Please save the dates on the 13th April. It's also the Tuesday, 8 o'clock Hong Kong times, related to learning and development topic. Thank you very much. And this is the end of the tonight discussion. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Mr. Parker.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you.
inviting.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank
Bye,
you,
Avin.
Cecilia.
Bye, Foster. Bye, Peter.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye,
Thank you.
Mr.
Bye.
David. Bye.
喂，好好啊，今日
冇啊，我好緊張啊，開頭嗰啲有啲唔係咁好啊，我覺得。
OK，overall 好好，我諗開頭緊張啲咧，咁唔緊要啦，越做越順啦，好好。咁就另外有位 SY 夫
咩啊？
有另外一個 member 仲喺度啊，睇先啊，佢而家 connecting to audio SY 夫，佢好似好着。
Hi，
Hi，
師傅 ，Hello， 佢啱啱先出現啊，唔得意嘅。
好似唔係啊 ，Not sure。Hi，
唔知係邊個
Hello。Okay. Your signal is
not stable.
is breaking. We can hardly hear you.
Anyway.
Hi, this is Saiful.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm
Mr.
listening. I'm hearing. This is Saiful.
Yeah.
How are you all?
Yeah, thank you.
How are you all?
Okay, thank you for joining us. Are you from Bangladesh or India or where are you from?
Okay.
Hello. Anyway. Okay.
Civil, I'm so sorry because okay.
Oh, from Bangladesh.
Yeah, I'm from Bangladesh.
I see. So see you next time. Thank you for
joining us. See you next time. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Bye bye. 好啦，咁我哋下一次再見啦，係啦，希望下一次可以再見到你啊，就俾多啲 support 我，堅持唔攞紅嘅，唔該你，拜拜。
OK，拜拜。
好啦 ，thank you， 拜拜。